Good evening, everyone. This is Diablo's TCG, bringing you a Cardfight Vanguard deck profile with Favrneel Rheingold from Divine Z Set 6. So, to start, for the ride line, we played the Omnigrucial ride line, so Omina Kitty, Omina Crow, Omina Owls, and OG Favrneel. So the reason why I play this ride line is because I know you Soul Blast 1 for Omina Crow, so you checked out 5 for an Omnigrucial, but since there's no Omnigrucial in the deck, you Soul Charge 2. But those Soul Charges can be 50-50, but if you hit the nuts, you hit the nuts. You can Soul Charge Squalid Freaks, the Persona Ride, or even the new card Favrneel Rheingold, which is pretty convenient. And I'll explain. So grade 2, we used a grade 2 Almena Owls because it searches like a draw trigger or any trigger. Then you get to draw a card. Trust me, for Favrneel, you need cards in hand. For the grade 3s, we start with the new Favrneel. So the new Favrneel skill, Favrneel Rheingold. If it has the Purgatory Demon Favrneel, during your turn, if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater and your soul has a Purgatory Dragon deity Favrneel, all of your front row gets plus 10 and this unit gets a crit. At the beginning of your main phase, choose a card from your drop, put it into soul, choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. It's not like the old Favrneel where when something is retired, you get to put something from your hand to soul, then you draw a card. But now this one's from drop, so you can discard your grade 3s, and by the time this one's on the Vanguard circle, you can just put it back to soul, which boosts up immediately to number 13 if you discard like Rhodus, Elegos, or Squalid Freaks. And the next grade 3 we have is standard for Rhodus. So Rhodus' skill is he is the Persona Rider. So if you did not ride this turn, so you bind this unit, discard a card, activate Persona Ride, and after the battle attacks, if you have Favrneel Vanguard, you can put this to soul and choose to retire one of your opponent's rear guards. Next is Demonic Swordsman Elegos. Elegos is the countercharger for the deck, and it actually boosts your soul too because on swing you put something to soul, and if the sum of your numbers on the soul is 13, you can countercharge one. And this guy retires a card as well. I still run 2 of the Time Jared Dragons because why not? It is a grade 3 though, so it's a brick in your hand, but there are some situations where you need something to solve and you get a draw card. So you can put on place, you can put something from hand to soul, draw card. My personal favorite in the deck, Walk the Dark. Walk the Dark skill is literally EB3, Airjabas 3, Vanguard gains plus 15k. And you can actually play it from soul, so it's actually not bad. I run 1 Favrneel, Favrneel actually helps the deck in so many ways. If you get this, you deck thin 2 grade 3s from your deck, and the rest is history. You can just spam the Persona Ride or the Elegos if you can't see it. This Regalis piece actually helps. The tech card that I'm running is Haunted Ball. Haunted Ball is Energy Blast 3. Choose 2 cards from your drop, put him into Soul. If your Soul has like 10, your Vanguard gains plus 10k, so it adds more pressure to Favrneel on swings. Moving on to grade 2s, I ran 4 Tiscard Cyclers. I mean, if I can find any other space for the deck, this can be it because Airjabas 3 draw a card or Karabas 1. For Squalid Freaks. Squalid Freaks, it's a mainstay for the Favrneel deck too because when it's at the Soul, it's a +2, so total Vanguard in Soul is a +4. Then, if you did not ride this turn, you can bind this card. Front row gets +5. Moving on to the grade 1s. 4 copies of Perfect Guards. Because why not? And as you should. Favrneel is still glass cannon in my opinion. And it's up to you. Just for preference, you can switch one of these to an Elementaria. I have Elementarias, but it's in another deck, so I just don't want to change it. Next is 2 copies of Exaggerate Draco Kid. So Draco Kid, when it's at the Soul, it's considered as a grade 3. Then on place, on the rearguard circle, if you have a grade 3 in Soul, you can soul charge one. And if you soul charge a grade 3 during the process, you can put something from your drop zone to the Soul. So it's a 2-for-1 kind of deal. I run 1 of the Cat Almethys. If you're short on, just for explanation, if you're short on Karabas, you can carry charge 1, and it's a 33k shield. Oh, it's a 20k shield, which makes it 33k. Next is 2 copies of Melody of Fiendish Flower Taka. Okay, the reason why I added this card in the deck is recursion purposes. If you manage to damage a Favrneel Rheingold and can't see it still, and it's in your drop zone, you just rest Taka to grab 1 card from the damage zone to put it to Soul. Then you get your top card of the deck and put it to your damage zone face down. So you can do the old switcheroo even though it's like already used for a counterblast cost. So it's not bad, right? And now we go to triggers. For my trigger lineup, I run 8 critical triggers because on every swing, Favrneel with Favrneel already going to 2 crit on a swing, I like to build more pressure to the opponents to drop their perfect cards. And imagine if you just hit the nuts, crit sack someone, you deal 4 damage, plus a restand, so there you go. We run 3 copies of the effect draws. Trust me, as much as I love fronts in the deck, you need cards in hand. I run 3 of the standard heals, And for the fourth heal, I just run a Yufa because there is a lot of like situations where another Vanguard restands or rearguard restands. This gives me like 25k shield. It saves me a lot in like a whole bunch of like locals and everything. So it's like one of my favorites. And for the OT, we run the Dark States OT, Gamma Geld or Vamfreeze. If you hit OT offensively, Favrneel is a 3 crit Vanguard, which can OTK someone. And that is it for the video. Favrneel Rheingold is actually faster. The deck is faster now, so that's all I can say. And if you happen to stumble upon the video, do give feedbacks. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so the community is going to grow. And as always, Diablos TCG out.